Velocity on West Tusk. We are right in front of Canton Centre. We have been out here many times, and it is always a good time. Don Cockroft, Browns legend, is here. He's got the book, 1980 Kardiac Kids, Our Untold Stories. It is the perfect gift for Father's Day. Sam Ratigliano is here, former coach of the Browns. Both the fellows would love to sign the book for you. Get some pictures taken. We've got some other cool items going on out here. And we're going to be here until 7 o'clock tonight. If you want to hop in, 450-1480, sam@whbc.com is the email address. How you doing, boss?
Sam, doing good. It's always great to be on your show. And
good to have you.
As you say, we're sitting out here in front of Velocity, and the sun is shining.
Very warmly, isn't it?
Very warm, but
very warm.
I don't have to sit here as long as you do, so I'll be thinking about you.
Well, I'll tell you what, before we talk about your book and how people can come out and get it, I did want to share with the listeners a funny story. Alex Worstel, who's been our intern this week, you know, her brother Reed, very excellent quarterback, plays for Glen Oak, and I find out that you guys live very close to each other, and Reed used to come and knock on your door as a little kid and say, Mr. Cockroft, do you want to come out and play?
Yeah, no, it wasn't do you. He says, can you come out and play? And I mean, he was a little tyke, I don't know, 5, 6 years old, something like that when we first moved in, and here he is now, obviously one of the better high school quarterbacks in the state of Ohio, if not the country.
So I got to ask you, were you able to go out and play?
We went out and play. I tried to teach a kid how to kick, but he just wanted to throw the ball. I don't know what the deal was.
Well, Don, this book is a masterpiece. We've talked about it on a couple of occasions. It was a work in progress for 4 years.
Yeah,
you talk about doing homework for a book. You did the homework here. What a gift for a dad, a grandfather, anybody for Father's Day. If you're a Browns fan, this is a must-have.
Well, it's certainly for Browns fans, those particularly that remember the Kardiac Kids or heard about the Kardiac Kids. Even the young fans today, I think, could learn a lot from this book because it truly is more a book about life than it is about football. As you mentioned, it was 4 years in the making. My main objective when I started the book was to do a then and now story on every player and coach, which meant that I had to call and talk to every player and coach that was alive that was on that team. And the reason the book got so large is 672 pages, over 650 photos, is I actually had 140 hours of recorded interviews and talking to my teammates and the coaches, and so I'm real proud the way the book came out and some of the responses from people is what I wanted, and they're saying that, Don, this book is more than just a book about football, and so that's what I wanted it to be, and that's what it is. So,
well, I can't say that I've polished the whole thing off yet, but you gave me a copy when it came out, autographed it, very nice, and I've got it in my office at home. I wish I had an office. I've got it at home. I take it back and forth to the office at work. And, you know how pictures can say 1,000 words? Yeah. Well, when you've got that many photos, but they all say a little something, don't they?
And they do. I mean, I'm kind of a photo guy, too. I'm not a great reader. And Bob Moon, my co-writer, who worked with me for 4 years, the two of us took us 4 years to complete this book. And Bob did the layout of the book. I actually left the photo selection up to him. We had about 6,000 to 7,000 photos to choose from as we went all over the country trying to find photos about that season. But he did a beautiful job, and so people can either get it and just enjoy the photos because, like you said, there's stories behind the photos. There really is.
You'll see one picture and something will come to mind. A game, who you went to the game with, maybe something about your favorite player, and then you mix the stories in, the interviews, and let's face it, 1980 was a heck of a year, wasn't it?
Well, it was probably, and I think, and I had no certainly disrespect on all the championship years of the Cleveland Browns, because you'll never replace the championship years, but I talked to Browns fans who were around at 26, and they would all concur that from an exciting season standpoint, none ever compared to that season and the Kardiac Kids, and obviously that's the name. seconds or last minutes of ball games. So that's why I wrote the book, Sam, is, you know, 30 years later, people are talking about Doug Deacon and Brian Seib, where they're at, you know, like they're family. And I think it was one of the most special fans, team seasons ever for the Browns, because the fans truly fell in love with that team, and I think we fell in love with the fans. I know I dedicated the book to the Browns fans.
Absolutely, and the Cleveland Browns fans are the best. They're still here. There's been some trying times, obviously. We haven't quite got to the top of the mountain. We got that big Lombardi trophy, but you know, there's something to be said, Don, for being a Browns fan, maybe being a Browns backer, going to a Browns game with your dad, with your family, or if a father takes his son. It's kind of what we grew up with, wasn't it?
Well, absolutely. Now, I was in Colorado when I was drafted by the Browns, so, you know, what you're saying, I didn't really experience what you just said until I was out of football and released from the Browns, and it took me a while in 1981 to get up enough nerve to go down to the stadium knowing that I wasn't suiting up. But what you just said was one of the things that amazed me. Is I got up there and I sat in the stands, and there were families, and there were the fans were like, I thought at the moment, I said every NFL player should set up in the stands one time to get a feel for how especially the Browns fans feel about the team, because I think it would change your whole complexion on how you go out there every Sunday, realizing how these people idolize the players and how they look up and down.
Browns legendary kicker Don Cockroft joining us here at the Velocity. It's the Sam Bourquin Show on WHBC. The book is called The Kardiac Kids, Our Untold Stories. Don is here. You can autograph the book. Get some pictures. Coach Sam Ratigliano, of course, is here at Velocity as well. Did you get to a point in the book where you sat back and said, did I leave anything out?
Actually, the funny story is we went to print in September of 2011. My co-writer Bob Moon says, you know, Don, we're leaving a lot of good stuff out of this book. I said, I don't care, we're going to print. I had people buy the book in 2009 because I thought it'd be done in May of 2010.
Right.
And here it was October of 2011. So we didn't leave a lot out, I promise you that. But there were some things that I wanted to get in there, we just didn't get in. But trust me, there's more than you want to read in that book about the 1980 Kardiac Kids, I promise you that.
Well, I know, and we're going to let Don go and get back in and sign, but I remember you approached me. I think you first met in a late high school football game. I think I was doing our All Care Stadium show before the game. I think you and your lovely wife stopped by. Ted, you introduced yourself. Holy crap! There he is. Holy crap! Kind of developed a little relationship there, and you said, "Hey, I got something that works." And my gosh, here we are, and it's taken off for you. And I wish you nothing but the best. And, well, if you could give me a phrase or a couple of sentences on what the book means to you.
Oh my goodness, I don't know if I can do that in a couple sentences, but you know, it's I'm leaving the legacy of one of the most exciting teams in Browns history. I don't know if the book will ever die, the shelf life of that book, because it is about that team and that season. And I'm just very happy and proud that we're able to put it together, because again, you don't take away the championship years, but from a special time, that you know, that was it. And I want to give people this opportunity too, Sam. It's Father's Day in a couple days. My website is thekardiackids.com. Cardiac with a K, thekardiackids.com. And if anybody goes on that site and they want to buy a book, they can't make it down here tonight. If they buy that book by Father's Day, and if they will put, where did they hear about this book, there's a line that says other. They need to say Sam Bourquin Show, and would you personalize this book for my dad or for somebody else? Until Father's Day, I'm going to make that offer to people. I will personalize the book even if they buy it over the website, thekardiackids.com.
awesome. The 1980 Kardiac Kids are Untold Stories, 672 pages, 650 photographs. It's a must-have. Don, I appreciate your time. We've got enough sun now. We'll let you go back inside.
You're sweating enough for both of us.
Thanks, partner. Don Cockroft is down here. Sam Ratigliano is here. We're at Velocity. We're kicking off kind of Father's Day weekend. Review sale inside. Just out of work, coming up in the West Tuscarawas in Canton. Stop on by and see us. We're at Velocity. It's the Sam Bourquin Show, live on 1480 WHBC. Rocky, I'm going to come to you as soon as we get back from the break. 450-1480. You can follow me on Twitter at CBBC.